Hello friends, how are you all? Welcome everybody to my channel, Nature at the Very Core of Science. Today, I have picked up the topic of life in the United States during the post-Second World War era, that is 1950s. I have made videos about life in 1920s, 1940s, but now we have advanced to 1950s. And we all know that at that time there was economic boom and the rapid growth of suburbs. And also there was a change in the family structure. The traditional family style changed. So we will hear about the rise of television, rock and roll. So to begin with, during the 1950s, many Americans believed the ideal family was the nuclear family. A nuclear family typically included a father, mother, and their children living together in one home. After Second World War, millions of soldiers returned home and started families. This led to the baby boom, a period of rapidly increasing birth rates between 1946 and 1964. In many households, the father worked outside the home while the mother stayed home to care for children and manage the household. Television shows and advertisements often promoted this image as the perfect American lifestyle. However, not all families fit this model. Some families had both parents working, single parents, or extended family members living together. Now, we will talk about Dr. Benjamin Spock and parenting. This is obvious to come at this point for discussion. So Benjamin Spock, he was a pediatrician, and he became one of the most influential parenting experts of the 20th century. In 1946, he published a book called Baby and Child Care. Dr. Spock encouraged parents to trust their instincts and to show affection toward their children. This was different from earlier parenting advice, which had often recommended strict discipline and emotional distance. His book quickly became extremely popular and helped shape how many parents raised children during the 1950s and beyond. Then there was something else also happened at that time, which is the medical innovations. And that is a huge positive progress in our society. Major advances in medicine that improved public health and saved lives. One of the most important breakthroughs was the polio vaccine, and that was developed by Jonas Salk in 1955. Polio had previously caused paralysis and death in thousands of children each year. The vaccine dramatically reduced cases of the disease. Hospitals also improved during this time with better equipment, antibiotics, and new surgical techniques. These advances helped increase life expectancy and improved overall health in the United States. Now, we will talk about the challenging conformity. So, many Americans, they were very embarrassed traditional lifestyles, and others rejected the pressure to conform. A group known as the Beatniks, they became part of a large cultural movement called the Beat Generation. These Beatniks valued art, poetry, music, and personal freedom. They often criticized materialism and the idea that everyone should live the same type of life. Writers such as Jack Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg helped inspire the movement. Their works encouraged people to question social expectations and explore alternative lifestyles. Another major change during the 1950s was the rapid growth of suburbs, communities located outside major cities. Many families moved to the suburbs because houses were affordable, new, and located in quieter neighborhoods. Government programs and highway construction made commuting to work easier. One of the most famous suburban developments was Levittown, where thousands of nearly identical homes were built quickly and sold to returning soldiers and their families. Suburban living became closely tied to the idea of the American dream, owning a home, raising a family, and enjoying economic stability. At this point, we will be also discussing about the very important, maybe most important developments of the 1950s, which was the creation of the interstate highway system. In 1956, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956, which funded the construction of a nationwide network of highways. This system eventually created more than 40,000 miles of highways connecting cities and states across the United States. The highways were designed to allow cars and trucks to travel long distances quickly and safely. President Eisenhower supported the project partly because of his experiences traveling across the country in the military and observing Germany's highway system during Second World War. He believed the United States needed better roads for both economic growth and national defense. The new highways made it easier for people to commute to work, travel on vacations, and move goods across the country. Business benefited because trucks could deliver products faster and more efficiently. The highways also helped the growth of suburbs since people could live farther away from cities and still travel to work. However, the highway system also had negative effects. Some highways were built directly through cities and neighborhoods, forcing families to move. In many cases, these projects destroyed established communities and businesses. Despite these challenges, the interstate highway system remains one of the largest public works projects in American history and continues to play an important role in transportation today. Thank you for listening.